Hey everyone, it's Midnight Spectre, and today we're celebrating an important milestone for me, 100 subscribers. I just want to thank all my subscribers. That is truly incredible that 100 people would want to watch a cartoon stuffed unicorn ramble on about random stuff I found on social media. So let's get on to the tutorial. Here's what you'll need to start. A plush, your weighting medium. Strong thread, I recommend this brand on screen. Sewing needles, the smaller the better. Here's a pack you can buy on Amazon. Bags you can put your weighting medium in. I just use cheap socks in a pillowcase. And optional accessories. Step 1. Selecting your plush. So a lot of factors go into deciding a plush to weight. For example, you may have your favorite plush from your childhood, or a plush that you really enjoy cuddling. Here's Princess Starsparkle. Dollar General hire me, I'll name all your knockoff pony toys. She's a Commonwealth pony from the early 2000s. You can see she's got a lot of love through the years. I recently restuffed her, so if you're looking to restuff one of your favorite plush, you might as well weight them too, if you're looking to do that as well. However, you may be starting from scratch, and I suggest you find a plush that speaks to you. Recently, I've been a huge cow toy horse kick, and I've gotten a couple. I like these horses a lot because they don't really have a neck, so when you're laying on your back and holding them, their head rests on your chest, and there's more body than legs, so there's plenty of real estate to hug and lay your head on them. Another factor that goes into weighting a plush is the material that they're made out of. A plush with short pile fur won't hide stitches and reinforcement as well as a plush with longer pile fur, so keep that in mind. Washing them will also be more of a chore since you can't just unstuff them and throw them in the wash machine, which please don't do that. Washers and dryers are super rough on plush, will often burn them and melt their fur, ruin embroidery or glitter on them. Step 2. Selecting the medium for weighting a plush. So there's two options really on weighting a plush. Plastic beads, which are often cheaper but lighter, so you need a lot more beads to get the equivalent of let's say 10 pounds of glass beads. I prefer glass beads because I like how they feel. And even though it's more expensive, you're going to have to use a lot less to reach your desired weight. I prefer 10 pounds for bigger blush, since it makes them feel more like a real animal. Please don't cheap out and use something organic like beans, or metal like steel BBs, or what I heard of somebody using like lead shot. Making the bag, step 3. So this step is optional depending on how you want your plush to be like. If you don't mind the weight moving around inside of them, then you can skip this step and start preparing your plush. But generally, I want the weight to be in the body, all 4 paws or hooves in this case, and one in the chin. So for the hooves and paws and chin, I just bought these pack of children's socks off of Amazon, and I'm going to fill those up with about a cup or so of glass beads. Then I'll fold over the end a couple times and sew that the best I can. A sewing machine might be better for this, but I simply haven't bought one because I know I won't get much mileage out of it. Then I'll take the rest of the beads and fill up a cheap pillowcase I also bought on Amazon and fold the end of that over a couple times and sew that as well. Step 4. Preparing your plush. So now as you select your plush you wish to weight and made the weights for your plush, you've got to find a finishing seam. A finishing seam is often a hand-sewn seam on area, usually on the stomach or back or on the side, where they've been stuffed at the factory or by a plush maker that they use to fill them up with stuffing. On longer pile fur, it may be harder to find or almost impossible to find a finisher seam. Just simply run your long finger along the edges of a seam until you find a place where you can either use a seam popper or cut the thread. On some plush you may not be able to find it at all, and that's okay too. Just simply pick a place where you won't notice a seam and cut or open your plush there. Depending on how you want your plush to feel, you may have to take some stuffing out to maintain a more of a squishy feeling, since the weight will displace some of that stuffing. Step 5. Actually weighting the plush. Well, you're almost there. I have pretty thick arms and hands, so I have to de-stuff the legs temporarily to put the weights in the hooves. You may not have to do this, but I recommend doing it just to get the weight all the way to the end of the hooves or paws. Repeat this for all 4 limbs, and then put the stuffing back in. You don't have to sew these in place because there's so much stuffing to keep the weight in place. The body weight, you'll have to find a location where you think will be the best option. For laying plushies, I recommend having the bag lay flat on the inside of the plush, so that way the beads can roll around freely inside the bag. So if you wanted to position your plush in a laying position or in a sitting position, you can go back and forth for laying and sitting, and simply, when you want to go back to laying down, jiggle the plush to redistribute the weight. However, if you have a plush that is baked into a sitting position, then you may just want to have the weight in the butt so they're always sitting. I then simply sew the bag in place for the body so it doesn't move inside the plush. You want to use pretty high strength thread and sew in at least 4 places so that the weight stays in place. Step 6. Finishing up. Alright, now you're almost done. Just simply do a ladder stitch to close up the plush. I'm not very good at ladder stitches, so you may want to follow a tutorial for that, and if this is your first time, don't feel bad if your stitch doesn't look that good. What's important is how the plush feels to you. I've been repairing plush for a while and I still can barely make an invisible stitch. You may also want to brush the seam free to free up any loose polyfill fibers and to help with longer pile fur to cover up your stitch. You may accessorize the one as you well. The sky's the limit there. You may want to put a bandana on your plush or a bow. If you're going to cuddle or sleep with the plush, I refrain from using anything hard like earrings to accessorize or rhinestones. Well, congratulations, you've weighted your own plush. You should be proud. A weighted plush offer a bit more personality than a weighted blanket, and in my opinion, much better to sleep with and cuddle with. I guarantee you that your first night's sleep and subsequent nights will be much better. They're also great for anxiety too, which I suffer from, so it kind of feels like you've got an animal of your choosing laying down on you or sitting with you. Even though I have a dog, she's a bit too active to be a couch potato with me, but I always enjoy her company when she does decide to lay on me or sit on my lap. I hope everyone found this tutorial helpful, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe.